Hello, everyone. Elise Smith here with 5 Elements of Wholeness. I am so excited about today. I have the opportunity and the privilege to interview Elise Smith. She has been one of my most favorite clients, and I want to just bring her on and just have her share why she is where she's at, who she is, and what has created the life that she loves to live in right now. So, Elise, do you want to go ahead and share some things about yourself?
Thanks so much, Alicia. Yeah, so I'm Elise Smith, Christian business strategist, and I get to empower Christian women entrepreneurs to be able to reach their sales goals really by partnering with God, empowering their mindset, and utilizing biblical business strategy. And in fact, I have a whole team of 7 other coaches that are all designed to be able to really empower our Christian lady entrepreneurs to be able to overcome those blocks that are holding them back and have a true strategy to reach those sales goals that God has put on their hearts. So I love what I do.
And you're so good at it too. And she is such an amazing woman. And do you want to explain a little bit why you decided to hire me as your mentor in 5 Elements of Wholeness?
Absolutely. You know, I've worked with so many different business coaches, and the thing that I think stood out the most with Alicia is the fact that she helps to kind of figure out what's truly holding you back. I mean, it's not just the strategy and the tools, and that's what I'm so used to is like online courses and that kind of thing. And I really I get to go in deep with Alicia, like to be able to figure out, you know, that my mindset and that they're even just the way that I say things are actually affecting the results that I have. And I had no idea. I mean, I've known her for some time now, and we've spoken on each other's stages, and I've always just been totally in awe of how she owns her Christianity and builds that into her business. And so I was kind of like, she piqued my interest right off the bat there. But until I got to know her and figure out exactly what it is that she does, I was like, yeah, sign me up. I need that.
That's so cool. And that makes me excited that you have been able to find such a benefit. I mean, one of the things that I love about having you as a client is that you're already so in tune with God. Like you already know so much about your identity and your value. So what is fun is to be able to help you, like you said, go a little deeper and be able to, and sometimes it's a lot deeper and it's not very fun, but you have had such amazing results from that. And so will you just share a little bit of your results that you've had with your business and even into your personal life?
Absolutely. So in my business, like I didn't even realize I had a block there, like that I was afraid of success. And that even some of the words that I was using was actually keeping me in that stuck mode. And the biggest thing I think was the fact that I was in my masculine like no other. Like,
yeah, all that doing. So
yeah, exactly. Yes, it was my to-do list. And it was, I mean, it got so bad that I couldn't even use my arm for 4 days because there was so much that I needed to work through. And also that I was just pushing myself so hard. I mean, you know, my family would even say things like, do you ever stop working? And that's so true. Like I thought that my identity was tied into, you know, my to-do list and all of those different types of things. And I knew there was a better way. Like I would ask God, like, okay, I know that you don't want me running around like a chicken with its head cut off all the time and feeling like I'm not doing anything to, you know, to actually further your kingdom here on earth. I'm just checking off a whole bunch of to-do list items all the time. And so when I asked him about it, I mean, Elisha just kind of popped back into my life at random moments, right? But we all know that it's God because I knew that there had to be a better way. And so when she taught me the concept of divine feminine, I've heard about like the push pull and the masculine and feminine energy. But the way that she teaches it, like the way that you teach it, Alicia, is like really, really amazing because it helps me to see it in a different light. Like the fact that I've always wanted to be in flow where clients are flowing to me and that, you know, opportunities are flowing to me and that things are just meshing in my business and not having to force it. Like I hate the word grind. That word is just like, it makes me feel yucky. And
right.
But there's so many people who teach grind and you know, go
hustle,
and do and
push
hustle.
harder.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And I love the fact that it's like, no, let's take a step back. Let's plan some things and let's figure out how we can truly partner with God to be able to co-create instead of control, because I didn't realize I had a
Yes.
problem with that.
Yeah. Well, and here's the fun thing that I really want everyone to understand is Elise is not brand new to business. Like, she has been in the corporate industry. She has made money like galore. Like, she knows how to make money. So the formula that she was using, it wasn't that it wasn't working. It's that it wasn't working for her mission and purpose, because she is a divine feminine woman. And that's what so many people are missing right now, especially as women in business, is that we're using this formula that was designed for men and thinking that we need to show up in the world in that way. And this is what's creating so much distortion and shutting down so many businesses, because they're like worn out, and they're like, we have a lot of hats that we wear, and you put on a business hat and you're all of a sudden you're masculine, and that's not where God intended you to create from. He intended you to create from that divine feminine. And we hear, like, in fact, I've been hearing, oh, that's a new age thing. Like, divine feminine is a new age thing. And so I've been looking into this new age thing, and it's fascinating to me how the divine feminine has been distorted into believing that we're bigger and better than men, that we should be out there promoting that we're like this, He-Man woman. And that's not the divine feminine. And so I love that that is something that you're recognizing in your business and being able to see that shift. Can you share, just like really quickly, can you share like an awesome success that you've had, not only in your business, but also your personal life as we've been working together?
Absolutely. So I've always had this dream and this vision of creating a coaching brokerage with my business. I've been the only coach for a long time in my business, and I knew that I was supposed to go in that direction, but I had no idea like what God actually had in store for me. And as I've started to work through some of these things that I just was holding on to and controlling and not being able to give it up to the Lord, as I started to kind of release some of those things, like he blew me away. Like God has provided a way for me to have people book calls for me. Like I have an amazing team that's booking calls for me. And then I also have someone who's taking my sales calls now for me. So I don't have to take my own sales calls. I don't have to book my own appointments. I don't even need to coach if I can't, right? Like we're trying to have a baby. And so God is setting everything up so perfectly. So I now have coaches that can help me with that. Like I never thought I'd get to a point in my business where I didn't have to like grind and work and, struggle to try and get there. It just came so easily. As I started to release some of those things, God lined everything up so beautifully and so perfectly, not just in my business. Like this is funny. My husband and I, we call it a reformed speeder. I used to speed everywhere that I went, like in my personal life, right? Because I have, a sports car and I love it and I love driving fast. But I knew that, cops are getting a little bit more picky around here in Utah. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I believe in myself that I can be a reformed speeder. and because of what I've been doing with Alicia, which is so funny, we've been focused on, all these things about my business and, who I am and helping me to even have a baby. Like all these things are so interconnected. And I've become a reformed speeder now because I believe in myself to do it. I didn't think I could do it before. And so I'm starting to believe in myself in all these different ways, and things are flowing in my life. I'm able to wake up earlier than I ever have, just naturally, because
Without an alarm clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's just flowing. And that's the coolest thing I think about working with Alicia, is that she prays for you and she helps to really partner with God and you to help things flow, not only in your business, but in your life as well. That's so powerful.
It is powerful. Oh, I just love that. And is it okay if I share just a really amazing miracle about the infertility that you've been going through?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So one of the things that was really cool when she came to me, she's like, I want to be making a consistent $10,000 a month. And this is what I feel like is in the way, which was completely opposite of what actually was in the way. And what was actually in the way is her belief of being a mom. And that was so incredible to me because I was able to help her through, through the Spirit, to be able to shift that belief of like, she is an amazing mom already. And being able to do that, she's had one miracle after another show up with this infertility. And I can't wait to see the next miracle that's going to show up for her, because without being able to let go of the control that she's had, she would have not been led to these amazing doctors that have been able to find things that nobody else has been able to find for her. And that to me is a pretty amazing miracle.
Yeah, it's we've gotten answers that we've never had before, and we've been on this fertility journey for 14 years now. And it's funny because you want to see a direct correlation, right? Like if you work with a coach, it's like, okay, then I want to have this kind of ROI in the end. But the interesting thing is that you have to count it all, because Elisha like helps you to get into a flow with God by tapping into your divine feminine, so that things just come naturally. There's been so many incredible miracles that have happened since I've been working with her. And yeah, you could call it coincidence, but it's not. And we know that it's not, because it's intentionally co-creating with God on a whole new level.
Yes, I love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Well, I could just talk to you all day long. So is there anything else that you'd like to leave the audience with before we go today?
Yeah, we don't have to work our tails off trying to get the goals that God has put on our heart. That's not how it's meant to be. In fact, if you think about Jesus, he didn't go frantically from one person to another trying to help everybody, right? You can't even imagine Jesus Christ doing that. He did it with that flow and that ease and that divine feminine, if he was a female, right? But the masculine, divine masculine, there we go, that he had as well. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to step into who we are as a son or a daughter of God. And Elisha helps you to do that so perfectly. And you'll be amazed at the miracles that you'll see in your life and your business by working with her. So definitely chat with her.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Elise. And I love that you brought that up about Jesus Christ, because he was the perfect exemplar of the stepping into the divine masculine and feminine together, because we have both of them, all of us do. But the men get to step into it at a higher level than the women do, and the women get to step in a higher level of the feminine than men do. And that's what creates the beautiful balance and harmony within us. So I love that. All right, everybody, I am so excited to to have Elise here. So just thank you so much for taking the time. And you guys, I have this amazing masterclass that's happening on June 1st. That is going to give you amazing secrets, like the 3 top secrets that I teach even my high-end clients like Elise, to step out of the doing of business. Like, stop doing business like a man with boobs. I know that sounds so corny and funny, but if you really think about it, that's what we do. We're sitting there trying to run a business like a man. And not that there's anything wrong with men. Men are amazing at running businesses. That is what God intended them to be, is doers. But you know what? God intended us as women to be in our divine feminine, to be in alignment. And that is what's so amazing about us women, because we can create incredible businesses that leave a legacy. So if that is of interest to you and you have that call in your heart, please go ahead and click on the link below, or you can go to 5elementsofwholeness.com and get registered. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll be able to have some amazing takeaways and just know how to just step into that next level of allowing into your business. So everybody, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time.